I think I clicked the wrong button. We'll see if we can make this into one video, but maybe it'll be two. So, where was I? 1974. Dodgers and Reds in Los Angeles. The Dodgers have Steve Garvey, uh, Bill Russell, Davey Lopes, Ron Cey. Um, the the Reds had, let's go around their infield, Johnny Bench, Tony Perez, Joe Morgan, Dave Concepcion, Pete Rose playing third base, George Foster. Um, I can't think of the other, Ken Griffey Jr. And there was another outfielder too, and maybe it was Dan Dreesen. I can't remember, but I think in that game there were 9 future Hall of Famers, 10 if you want to include Rose. I do. So that was my first road trip. But what happened is I got to the ballpark. I went to the ballpark. I was walking. I walked all around Los Angeles, got off the bus at downtown Los Angeles, got a hotel downtown Los Angeles, walked out to Dodger Stadium, got tickets for 3 games, went back to my hotel. I still had all my bags in the locker at the bus depot. So I went to my hotel, and it was time to go to the game. I went and went out to a bus that said Dodger Stadium or whatever. I knew it was going to Dodger Stadium anyway. I didn't even look at the number of the bus or anything like that. And I thought, oh well, I'll just find it when I come back out when the game's over. Good luck with that. There must have been 200 buses out there when I came back. I didn't know what bus. So I walked back through downtown Los Angeles. I was 19 years old at the time. Very naive, probably 16 in real age. And I walked to the bus depot to get my gear, and the whole way there I was shaking. It's not long after Watts riots and all that kind of stuff. As I'm walking into the bus depot, I there's 3 guys coming out, 3 African American guys coming out, arm in arm. The guy in the middle was bleeding like a stuck pig. All I did is I walked in, I went up to the counter and said, I'd like a ticket for Vancouver, please. And I went home. I had 2 more games to go to, but I just wasn't going to stay for that. That was my first road trip. A wonderful game. I even met people that lived in Saskatchewan, not far from where my mom and dad, where my dad was born. And talked with them, and I told them that I was from Port Alberta, and they said, I said, that's near Nanaimo. I said, well, we've been to Nanaimo. In fact, we just came from there, so it wasn't that interesting. A packed park, of course. I don't know what Dodger Stadium holds, but it was filled for that game. So the next trip, 1975, 2 of my friends, remember this football game in the park with my 2 best friends. With people that I met. 2 of those guys became my best friends. So we went on a trip. It was more about partying and having fun and finding as many bars as we could. But we did attend 3 ball games. We went to a game at Jerry Park in Montreal. I don't remember who the Expos were playing, but that was great fun to go to watch that. We went on I think it's called the Metro. We stayed at one of my buddies at his uncle's place in downtown Montreal. We also stopped at Comiskey Park in Chicago and watched a game there. The biggest thing I remember about, Dick Allen was playing. I really liked Dick Allen as a player too. He was playing with the White Sox, and those wonderful red uniforms they used to have. Well, they were white and being at home, but red lettering, red numbers, beautiful uniforms. And I can remember we walked out after the game, and we were watching this game of softball. It was slow pitch, as it turns out, but it's a ball like this. It's a huge ball. But I think it's called 16-inch softball. Well, that's a huge game in Chicago. Like, they even had professional leagues in Chicago with these guys. I don't know who those guys were, but that's what I remember from that. In Tiger Stadium, we sat out in the pavilion in center field, which is 440 feet from home plate to the fence. We sat up, and there's a couple decks, and a number of, well, what would have been 75, I'm going to say 6 or 7 years later, in 1982, a fellow from here, Tony Powell, played for the Canadian national team. He hit a ball into the upper deck of the pavilion. He became the second player to ever do that. Remember, this guy's from Port Alberni. He played amateur baseball player. He played um, community college baseball in Yakima, Washington, but he's playing with the national team. There's two people that have hit a ball into the upper deck of the pavilion in Tiger Stadium, Tony Powell and Babe Ruth. That's what I take from that. Now, so the next one, 1978. Went on a trip. We had planned on going to all 20, at that time, 26 stadiums. We didn't. We just cut it short. We just had enough. We did get 17 parks. Only 3 remain. One in Oakland, Dodger Stadium, and Fenway Park. Of course, Oakland Alameda is no longer a major league stadium, unfortunately. But the only 3 parks left. The nicest park was Dodger Stadium. Fenway Park was great too, but the cleanest, Dodger Stadium was clean. Kansas City was clean. The best hot dog was actually a bratwurst at Milwaukee County Stadium. Bratwurst and sauerkraut. Best meal I had in those ballparks. One thing we saw at Oakland Alameda Stadium, Mike Morgan, maybe a lot of you don't remember Mike Morgan, he pitched in Oakland. He was drafted in that June's draft, or sorry, yeah, he was drafted that year. I don't think it was in June because we were there like June 6th. So it was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks after he had been drafted out of high school. He pitched in the major leagues. He pitched against the Baltimore Orioles. They lost 6-3. Amazing to see him pitching in 1978 in Oakland at 18 years of age. He last pitched at 40 years of age. I believe it was in 2002. Spending time with the Cubs, the Athletics, other places as well. Another exciting moment from that trip, Willie Mays was playing in an old timers game in San Diego. He hit a home run in San Diego. Yeah, it's old timers baseball, but I played old timers baseball. I don't think I was as old. I think I'm old. I tried it at 67. I think I was. I don't think Willie was that old, but there's no way I could have hit a ball out of a major league ballpark in my whatever he was in his 40s or maybe 50s by this time. I'd have to look up how old he was at the time. And one of the biggest things I remember about that trip was we were driving somewhere in California, listening to, I think, a pregame show. The Dodgers had just finished. No, they had just finished playing. I can't remember who they had finished playing, but the Expos were coming into Los Angeles. I think we were already headed out of California from San Diego and headed out. And Vin Scully was talking, saying, okay, the Expos are coming to town. I did see them the Expos play in San Francisco. So yeah, they're probably going to play the Dodgers. And Vin Scully said, the great Steve Rogers. And I just thought, wow, other people like him too. And coming from Vin Scully, those are great words. So that's it for this. I'm going to see if I can splice these two together. I don't know if I can or not. So did your teams change when you, as a kid, or do you still cheer for the same team? Let me know in the comments below. Hit like and subscribe if you already haven't. I'd appreciate that. I'd love to get your support. I'd love to be able to do more of this. I'm going to sit down now and get the board ready for opening day tomorrow. Opening day tomorrow. We will I'll put all the games on, all the starting pitchers, that kind of thing. Thanks very much for your support. I'll talk to you again soon.